Hey, what's up? It's Joel and H here with another Mix
H.
It Up
Jones.
reactions.
H. Jones.
I don't say my last name.
But it's one word. So it's H. Jones.
It's one word.
Yeah.
Who are you, Prince?
No. He had way more money than me. He still has more money than me.
Yeah. I don't think he has anything right now.
And that's still more money than I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to take your word for it there.
All right.
You're in that much debt?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
I haven't
so
shaved in weeks.
haven't shaved in weeks? What would that have to do with money?
Because I'm struggling. You see the struggle.
That sounds like someone who doesn't know actually have to be poor. It's like, I haven't ate in weeks would be someone who's actually poor. Not, I haven't shaved properly in weeks. Oh, I don't have enough for my fancy blades. Yeah. I don't know.
I had to use scissors.
Yeah, right. That would be so difficult and painful.
Yeah, it would.
Oh, it wouldn't be like nicks, it would be throat cuts. Like, yeah. There was a weird tangent, but we're having fun. Which, by the way, we did not say like or subscribe at all in the last movie.
Yep.
Video.
So tell them right now.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification to make sure you understand how this works.
That's not what the bell's for, but yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be doing a reaction video for Five Finger Death Punch, Wrong Side of Heaven. Now, I've seen it and I've seen the video. It's made me super sad, but it's a really good song and a really good message.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about really good message. It's a message you need to hear. It's not like it's a positive affirmation or anything, but, you know, it's... Anyways. Which, by the way, we will have a merch store pop up with our new hoodie, which is called Positive Affirmation Here. So, yeah, I'll throw up a picture. Maybe I'll throw it up in this edit, like right here. Or here, or over my face.
Oh, that's a better spot.
Shut up. Anyways, but so we're gonna check this video out, and then we're gonna, react to it and whatnot.
Then I'm gonna give
but
you
it's H's first, or H's first reaction to it. So we'll check it out. We're having an off day or two.
No, it's mostly you. It's mostly you.
You're a turd.
No, that's what your apartment smells like.
That is definitely not true. It smells like cinnamon and trees. Let's be honest.
Smells like cinnamon over here.
Okay, this is serious shit. See, that's super depressing.
She's ashamed. What have I become? What have I done? I spoke to the devil today, and he swears he's not to blame. And I understood, 'cause I feel the same. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly care. I'm on the wrong side of heaven, and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven, and the
Man, it's like pure truth, dude. And it's super sad, but honestly, I like that the band made this song, and I love that they made this video.
Bring attention to it.
Yeah, because I mean, you've got people that tend to just, it is stigma, but the more common thing is just ignoring, acting like it doesn't exist. And then people argue about political ramifications of, global assets and the sphere, and we shouldn't be there, we should be there, or whatever else. And it's like, why are y'all having? You realize there's a cost that isn't just technology and money, right?
Yeah,
it's a much heavier cost every time we go to war. And because my parents are very huge supporters, my family is very huge supporter. A good amount of my family is in the military, and it's almost like that excuse of thank you for your your service or your sacrifice, right? Or I'm thankful for their sacrifice and I'm sorry you lost your kid. And it's like, you don't think about the rest of the sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where people end up having these large chunks of their life and they feel normal, and then they come home to the States and it's completely different than what they realized.
Yeah.
And that they did change over there. And it did turn them into someone different. I mean, because I have had friends who literally went over there, would come back, and they had PTSD, but also like sound, like almost like sound obliterations. Like the minute, like I have that with my dad. We both have it genetically where if high-pitched screams happen, we go into emergency mode. Well, when you're over there, usually when you hear loud sounds or this and that, explosions or something, it triggers a response, which is, okay, protect, make sure everything's fine.
Yeah.
Grab your not platoon. I guess it depends on what war you're in, but, grab your mates and get out of there, make sure everything's protected, the site's secure, perimeter set, But when it's here, it's just hard to kind of break out of that. Because you don't have to have had just the worst time over there to be a little bit messed up. It's because of the training that also will kind of, you're prepared. You go into emergency mode when you hear fireworks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're over there, it's still okay to think that way. And that's why a good amount of people, when they start having trouble here, will end up going right back over for a second and third tour, which then just amplifies that problem when they get back home because they don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
They used to be important. They used to save lives. They're protecting their country, and then that leads to drugs and alcohol and a lot of other things. And seeing some of the stuff they have just, can tear someone up. Especially when I had one friend who told me that he actually watched like a 10-year-old like handing out ammo to a bunch of his family members to shoot out across the plains at them. Like he was watching them in the scope, like just handing out ammo, like a 10-year-old. I mean, what kind of life, that you're literally having to give ammo to your family and feed them ammo as they try and murder a bunch of people, Yeah. And it's a horrible situation regardless, because if you live and grow up in that country and you had a perfectly fine way of life, and then all of a sudden your government's going crazy, and then a bunch of people are showing up, and then they're attacking a bunch of innocent people by bombings and here and there, and it makes you go into fight for my country mode. So then you have two sides that are basically opposing forces. It's not always going to be the religious excuse or direct evil. It's not always going to be that. Sometimes it will be over resources or just a government's attitude or an attitude towards their people or this and that. Or it might be, there's a multitude of different reasons why wars happen and things like that. It's not just black and white. Sometimes it's grays, lots of grays. And I, one of my friends actually told me, he said, it's hard when you come back and you spend a couple years back here. And he said, and then you realize that a lot of the grayish stuff that was over there was actually pretty bright spots of good humanity. You know, like things you notice, things you pay attention to, you see it, and you're like, you know, this is actually pretty nice what people are doing for each other. They're a lot more in each other's lives than, say, we are in this country, you know? He was like, there was many moments that I'd sit there and be like, man, I wish my family was this interconnected and this. So to seeing that and then coming back the next week and finding out that their entire village was bombed to hell. And then not knowing, was it their side or was it the other side? Because that was the problem, is you didn't always know. So he said it was very difficult in a lot of ways because fear ends up really grabbing a hold of you over there because it is the unknown is what's the problem. Because you don't know when the next bullet's coming, when that sound, where that sound's coming from, where this is. So he said a lot of the biggest problems and troubles they have in wars when it comes to foreign wars is literally the unknown because it can cause mistakes and things to get worse.
Yeah.
I mean, have you had any family that served?
I've got some cousins now.
A good amount of my cousins served.
Yeah, mostly the younger, not like aunts and uncles and everything.
Mm. Have you had a lot of friends that went over there or did anything?
Not that I can think of. I'm not a gun person. I'm not a military person.
I'm not a gun person or a military person either.
I don't know. I don't know a lot of them. I have one of my really cool neighbors. I think she was married to a military guy, but he was like always gone.
Yeah.
That's about all I remember.
It depends on what you do. Yeah. I had a friend who ended up becoming a Army Ranger and another friend who was a Marine grunt. Well, now he's still in the Marines. He's been in the Marines since like 2002. Or he was in like ROTC, went into that. Like he was going because his father, his grandfather served, everything else. But for him, it was a career. He's still in the military. I mean, he's still, my nose itches today. But no, he's still in the military, and he's probably pretty high up now. I mean, it's been like 21 years he's been in there. So he can't be still a grunt.
Hope not.
In the 0311. But no, he was a Marine. And then I had another friend who he was in the Army, but he was more in the communications department type thing. So he never really saw any action except for a few little instances here. But he said that he had a lot of friends that would they almost like their personality shifted overnight and they were only gone for a month and a half. And I was like, well, a lot can happen in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And it sucks. But I do agree with the video's premise is that a lot of people tend to ignore their stigma around. And there's just, they come back and it's like people kind of care, but they don't really. Like they care when you get off the plane or when you're doing a video or you're reuniting with your dog or your wife or your kids. They care about that. But they don't care about the minute you have issues. Then it's like, go to a therapist. You go to a therapist.
Well, what's interesting, remember in our current time, they were trying, I don't remember the bill, it's SB something. I can't remember the number. But it just got shot down. It was a bill for veterans. They were trying to get more money to go to the veterans. I think it was related to
for the VA hospital or for direct like help.
No, I think it was related to it was like the veterans that were over not burning papers, but I forget what it was called. But basically, there was a group of them.
Oh,
that had
toxicity. Yeah. I did see something about it. Jon Stewart was really ticked about it.
Yeah, because they got struck down just recent.
Yeah, and it was simply because they were trying to. Well, I think it was for military, but I think it was also for like first responders from 9/11 stuff like that too.
So as well.
And I think it was toxicity to fix that because they were inhaling all those fires that they had over there where they like the chemical fields were, or not chemical, oil fields were on fire and stuff like that, or they'd burn trash in the pits, because they didn't, it's not like you have trash service when you're over in a foreign country, So they burn trash in a pit and those chemicals released into the air, a lot of those fumes, a lot of those guys would end up being like, oh, it smells like burning butt out here. And it's like, oh, I'm going to get cancer in 10 years, you know?
Mhm.
But, or smoke inhalation and ended up breaking down my lungs or whatever it was.
Mhm.
So, yeah, when I saw that, and Jon Stewart was literally like, you know, this is BS because it's only being done so they can use it as a bargaining chip. And I was like, that's why for me, politics is, I don't care how long you've been in it. If you're just in politics and you're gung-ho attitude and you're trying to help the world and save the world, okay, I'm happy you're there. But I feel like you're going to get whittled down and eventually become just like every other jaded person in politics.